Okay, 83 days out for the meet. Made day 0 meet day, so I guess we're inside of 12 weeks out now, which has me a little bit nervous. Because feeling the way I have been feeling, not fun. Feeling the way that I am feeling at 12 weeks out from meet is a little bit worrisome, because normally when I've had a solid off-season to lay the groundwork, when I'm not created a giant caloric deficit, at 12 weeks out, I'm ready to be excited and ramp up into the peak, whereas right now, feeling this low has me a little bit worried about how well we are going to be able to push into the end of this meet prep. But the good news is I pulled 100 grams carbs out of my training days, 75 grams carbs out of my low days, and I'm at least feeling a hell of a lot more awake and like a human than I have been the last little while. So hopefully that turns into a pretty productive squat day. And if you're new to the channel, this is me documenting everything it has taken and everything it will take to go from ripping my pec off the bone and getting it reattached all the way to hitting my lifetime goals on the platform. So far, we came back from that pec tear in under 9 months to hit an all-time PR total, then started the process of losing over 100 pounds of body weight so that we can build back better, which is what we are working on right now. Not a whole lot of this has been fun or easy, but my hope is by sharing the journey, you will be able to learn something that will make you a better lifter. And more importantly, it will show you that no matter how tough a situation looks, as long as you don't quit on yourself, it will get better. And as far as what we're doing today goes, the perpetual limiting factor on my squats has been my ability to stabilize off the unrack and then carry that into a not terrible eccentric. So did a little bit of shopping yesterday and brought some chains into the gym. And we got about 120 pounds of chain on the bar right now, which means that it might limit the total amount of straight weight I have on the bar today with how I've been feeling. But with how I've been feeling, that might not be a terrible thing either. Noisy. That actually felt pretty okay. And best ever with a little bit less chain weight than this. I did 50 kilos of chain with 705 peeking into the last meet where I scored 799 on the platform. So what I'm thinking today is if I can get above 600 plate weight with how it feels, I'll call that a pretty good win. If I get mid sixes, I'll be pretty stoked. And I don't want to say I don't think I have a shot at 7, but I think it'd be unwise to push much further than that. So we'd have to be feeling really freaking spicy to want to go there. We're feeling okay though. And I think like the benefit of the chain is because with it being so much heavier off the pick than it would be for the straight weight that's on the bar, it's almost forcing me to lock in harder than I normally would at the lighter weights, which is something I should be doing a better job of anyway. So I'm grateful that it's kind of making it happen.
Squat. Lower.
I don't believe you. First one felt dubbed. Never mind watching the tape back. Deanna was probably a little bit right in that first rep. And I only want to do 1 rep here, so we're gonna try to do a better job of pushing into the first one. Yeah, I think that was okay. Shocked with how on track it feels so far, so let's do our best to keep that going. And I don't want to call this the FAFO set because we're not really doing too much of the FAing with 4 reps of the chain, but we'll be at least finding out how we're feeling today after this one.
Yep.
And good news is that it's moving real fast. Bad news is that it's feeling a little bit heavier than I want it to feel. So we're going to be a little bit conservative with the next jump, try to wake up more, put more sauce on it, get it feeling lighter on the back. And if we want to go up from here, we'll have to wake up a little more. So let's wake up a little more.
Next to the left is tiny bit. There. Pull back. Good. Lock that straight in.
Find it.
Rocket, please. Yeah, I'm done. And I may have been too excited there and totally fucked up the pick. I knew I was way too chest tall, and if I were to try to recover from that kind of pick, it wouldn't have been fun. So we're gonna try to take her again and be more deliberate with the unrack so we can not embarrass ourselves. So a lot calmer going into this one so we can do a better job. Just wait for the next song. The end of the song's like 4 minutes. A little bit better. Fucking hate myself so much right now. And I mean, I'm happy that I was able to recover from being too afraid to squat it after that unrack the first go to actually squatting it. But I am a little bit unhappy with how heavy it felt and how it moved. But I know that with how I was feeling earlier this week, that still is just me being overcooked. So all I need to do right now to be less overcooked is make sure that I am not forcing anything this week, and we should be able to catch some more recovery back, and should be able to roll forward. And like in my head, all I'm thinking is like, okay, we're 140 pounds off of where we were at the peak last week, but if a bad day at 12 weeks out is 140 pounds off, like, it's not that bad. We will be able to make it up. We will be able to get there. I just gotta keep doing what is necessary to get there. So we're gonna go jam on accessories. Not gonna be super pushed because, again, I wanna make sure that we are in a spot to push later on. So yeah, that's what I got. So I think we are gonna start applying a little bit of conjugation to our bigger accessory movements. What I mean by that is I'm just gonna swap the big accessory slot around as the weeks go on this squat day. To be clear, I do not think this is the best strategy for most lifters, because if we're changing the accessory slot every week, like, we're not really building momentum. And I also don't think the pendulum is the best option for getting carryover into my squat. But the hope is that if I can be a little bit fresher and not be just totally smashing my shit on the hack squat, we should be able to feel fresher on the next deadlift day and on the next squat day and so on and so forth. So I'll shut up. And running the pendulum without knee sleeves is more difficult than I was anticipating, so this might be embarrassing. Getting the hang of it. Gonna add a little bit of weight. Drop the foot plate down, another 45 on the other side. So hopefully this doesn't kill me. But what I'm thinking right now is kind of similar to what I was saying on the last deadlift day, because the fact that this feels so freaking terrible, it almost makes me feel better about how that squat moved. Was gross, but I think we can handle one more set here. I also don't remember the pendulum being this hard to get in and out of, so sucks being fat. Anyways, round 2 here, and goal is to not have too much rep fall off. if I was capable of counting during a work set. I could tell you if that was better or not, but going by feel, I'm okay with number 2. In an effort to not be a pansy on everything we're doing today, gonna jam on some Nordics. Unsure if this will be too aggressive in the angle. Also unsure if my head will be in the frame at the top, but we're close enough. This'll work. Kind of cheaty, but I'm okay with it. I also got the foot plate probably one hole too high, so we'll fix that for the next set. That was challenging. I'm okay with it. And dropping her down, tilting the camera up a little bit, and we're gonna jam on round 2. I do have some instant onset muscle soreness after that first one, so no promises on reps or cleanliness, but we'll dig in. That was good enough for that set. And I just saw Johnny walking back over to do my lat stuff, but I was asking him, like for reference, what is heavy on that pendulum that I was running. And he said 5 plates total, which made me feel very, very bad about myself. So yeah, I don't know what to make of the situation. And that worked out about perfectly because Johnny just finished up with this cable thingamabobber because as I was saying in one of the recent episodes, going to be doing a little bit of reworking our upper back exercise selection because I have been running the black max pump machine row. It does feel phenomenal for lats right here, but I want this slot to set me up for the upper back sensation I need on bench for Monday. So thinking a straight arm pull down, we're really trying to sock scaps down, pull chest high, get a little bit of spread action. It's gonna be the ticket. Gonna step back a little bit. Hopefully I'm still in frame. It's gonna hammer out some squeezy reps. Not gonna cook this one because we definitely need to put more weight on the stack. And this one is kind of a tricky one to load because there's a definite sweet spot where like it's heavy enough to be work, but not so heavy that you lose the squeezy bench type intent. And I think we're pretty close to the sweet spot here. Miana's distracting me.
I was just walking by.
I thought you were coming to say something.
No.
No? Not even in frame. Yeah. Miana just wanted to ask me if she's looking more jacked, so that's what she was over here for. But the reason I like these so much for bench is this sensation is exactly what I want my bench unrack and eccentric to feel like in the lats. And if I can touch the sensation more here, it is a lot easier to find when I'm bench pressing, and the easier it is to find when I'm bench pressing, the better bench pressing tends to go. So hopefully if we're floor pressing Monday, that goes a hell of a lot better. And the last time we floor pressed because we kind of missed pulling the bar out far as we should have. And I just got done with the second worst part of the training session, which is loading plates onto the reverse hyper. So let's do the worst part of the training session, which is the reverse hypers themselves, in case you were wondering. Been a while since I've run them that heavy, and that really sucked. But the good news is, with the heavier weight and lower reps, it is less of death by back pump and more just feeling like my glutes are being ripped off. So let's do another. I'm okay with that, which brings us to the third worst part of the training session, and that is unloading all the plates from the stupid reverse hyper. Best strategy I've come up with is pulling them all off at once and then rolling them on the floor back to the plate tree. And I really like the spread eagles, anchor my feet under the sit-up machine, but I learned my lesson from last week, so we're gonna wait till Miana is definitely not using it before we get on the thing. Oh, my head's not in frame.
Head and frame?
Yeah, I probably should have my head in frame. Are my feet in frame?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And we're gonna be adventurous and go straight to the 90 pounds. World's most awkward exercise setup. I am okay with that. We'll do another. Gotta just lay down here for a little bit first. Okay, round 2. That is so hard. Oh boy. Stuck turtle. But yeah, not super happy with squat loading today, but considering that the chains are going to expose what I've been struggling with, and considering how I have been feeling, I can't be too upset with how today performed. And I'm thinking if we do continue to refine when and where we are pushing, we should start to see a little bit better consistency in performance across the lifts. And what I actually am thinking right now, conversation with Darrell inspired this thought, but instead of just going down to one max effort slot, I'm gonna go down to one max effort slot, but instead of running that as max effort squat, alternate max effort deadlift, what I think will be the wiser choice, considering that I don't want to remove the touches, is I'm just going to keep the max effort day squats for now, rotate through variations so we're not cooking ourselves, and then on the speed squat day, I'm not going to run a max effort deadlift like I have been, but I will do a kind of heavy deadlift that is nowhere near max effort, just so I'm able to retain as much skill on both lifts as possible, because the big worry with how things feeling is, number one, I feel like I'm going to die, but number two, I still don't feel super familiar with the groove. So I do think that this will probably be the better solution, or at least the safer solution for now. And if we do need to pull back further, we can pull back further, but I want to minimize the rate that we are pulling back, just so that I don't end up pulling back too far and then have nothing else left to pull back at the end. So that is where we're gonna go, but that's what I got for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry that it was, again, like kind of shitty. I feel bad for vlogging when things are going this poorly, but you know what? We are where we are, and if we want to get better, we got to keep on doing it, keep on pushing through. So I will see you in the team.